What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of our Dynasty Spotlight series here at Masters Fantasy Football, the place to play Dynasty Fantasy Football. We've talked about a lot of these guys already, Michael Carter being one of them. We had a show on Michael Carter before the NFL draft.
Yes.
The NFL draft happened. He slipped a little later than I think we thought. It was the second pick of the fourth round, which for a running back, that's not super late. But goes to the New York Jets, a place where I think historically people would be disappointed in hearing that as a landing spot. But they're doing things a little different now. They got a new head coach, new franchise quarterback.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Michael Carter to the Jets. How we feeling, Doc?
I feel good about it.
All
I
right.
feel really good about it. Initially, I was like, oh, yeah, Michael Carter, that's a good spot. He'll get some third down work. And the more I think about it, the more I hear about it, I really like it for Michael Carter. I just, at the end of the day, I don't, as much as I like Tevin Coleman, I just don't really expect him to carry the load as the starter. And it sounds like Michael Carter has looked good thus far. And, I think his game translates really well. I feel like I've said before, too, that I feel like he just kind of gets knocked as like being a third down back just because he has a good skill set in that kind of regard. But, he can do a lot more. We've seen him run between the tackles in college. He's a very talented guy. I honestly kind of think it's similar to like a Duke Johnson scenario where I feel like that's his best role is probably as a receiver and like making things happen after the catch. But like he can definitely shoulder some carries, and I do think he's a little more durable than Duke as well. So that's a big positive. I think his value is actually a lot higher than I would have expected for him being, a backup New York Jets running back, So at this point, I feel a lot better about it than I did, a few weeks ago or even a couple months ago. A month ago.
Yeah.
A couple months ago. Wow. So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like the analysis a lot. I'll even kind of throw one more, like, really nice thing out there. So, I don't know if you guys have heard of playerprofiler.com, but they do a great job of, using advanced metrics. But one of the great things, you can search a player. They take into factor, their height, weight, college production, how they test at the combine. All this, they put it together in some crazy formula and spit out comparisons. Michael Carter's best comparable player, Devontae Freeman. Now, let's add in some other parallels outside of that. Devontae Freeman had that tremendous year with Kyle Shanahan. And guess who is now the OC for the Jets is a coach from the Shanahan tree, Mr. Younger LaFleur. I forget his first name at the moment. Mike. Yeah, Matt and Mike. So Mike LaFleur are going to, probably operate a very similar system. Michael Carter, a little undersized, but so is Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman was a great fantasy asset there for a few years.
Yeah, before injuries kind of derailed his career, he was awesome.
So my Michael Carter is a guy I liked pre-draft, and
tough scene for Tevin Coleman again.
Yeah, hey, it's gonna be Devontae Freeman. I didn't even think about that. So the parallels are there, and
they're there.
We're big parallel guys. Anytime we get some parallels, we're all for it. So Michael Carter, I think a lot of upside. All of that being said. Rookie draft, typical 3-round Masters format. Where do you see yourself taking them?
Most likely, top of the second round, middle of the second round. Mm-hmm. With the drop-off in running backs, I think you could make an argument for taking them late first.
I agree. Really and I've seen it. To me, I think my ideal spot's maybe 2.3-ish, early second. But, if you need a running back.
Yeah, there is that big drop-off, so...
And there's a lot of receivers who kind of get grouped into that late first category. But, if you need a running back, I like Michael Carter. I think both short and long term, he's going to be around for a bit. His skill set fits in the new NFL very nicely. And I don't think the Jets is as devastating as a spot as it would have been a year or two ago.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty optimistic. Let's kind of compare him to some current players.
Well, I actually did want to ask you, too. Comparing him to Trey Sermon, who would you rather have?
So that's a great question.
Because I feel like Sermon's a guy that's getting a ton of hype.
Because he's in Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Absolutely.
Which so is Michael Carter.
Basically. Yeah.
So that's a great question because I think a lot of people would go Trey Sermon because a bigger name, with the Oklahoma, the Ohio State background, and then kind of bigger name NFL landing spot with Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. But honestly, if I were a betting man, I think Michael Carter's durability and skill set will make him a more valuable fantasy asset than Trey Sermon. I think Trey Sermon will have a few really nice weeks where you think, wow, this guy's awesome. But, durability hasn't been to Trey Sermon's credit. He's missed a lot of games. And we've seen Kyle Shanahan just cycle a lot of running backs in there at times. So, yeah, I'm going to go Michael Carter.
Yeah, honestly, I think I feel the same. With as much hype as there is on Trey Sermon, it's honestly got me more worried than anything.
Right.
Because I feel like they're moving his value up a little bit too much. But that's
just like Keyshawn Vaughn last year.
Yeah, pretty much. And I would much rather have a guy in Michael Carter who can, he's going to have the benefit of being in a similar offense that's, typically running back friendly. I think he can do more in terms of making things happen after the catch, or if he gets through a hole, I think he's got a better chance of making a big play happen than Trey Sermon. So I think he's got that to his credit too. Even if he has less touches, he might be able to generate more points just with his natural ability. So I think I'm on Michael Carter's side as well.
I like it. All right, let's go current NFL players.
Real NFL
they're all
players.
real players. Veteran players.
Miles Gaskin.
Ooh. I go.
Gaskin?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Is there an S at the end or not?
I think just Gaskin.
I think it's one of those names where people just put an S on it, and now it's got me second guessing.
I'm gonna go Michael Carter. I know Gaskin did a lot last year, from a points per game perspective, but I don't know, something about him I don't trust him. Those undrafted type of running backs who splash. I know 4th round isn't super high draft capital, but I just feel better about Michael Carter. I think he's got, even though Myles Gaskin's a very well-rounded back, I think what Michael Carter can offer in the passing game is always going to be there, where once a better running back lands on the Dolphins, probably next year, Myles Gaskin automatically becomes, a backup or even a free agent cut candidate at that time. Where with Michael Carter, even if, a more talented back comes, he still could get a lot of pass catching work. So I'm going to go Michael Carter.
Fair enough.
What about you?
I think I probably would too. I like Gaskin, and he was great in college. He was great last year too, honestly. But yeah, I just feel like that's a spot that the Dolphins are still going to look to upgrade at some point. Trying to
think of some of the 26, 27, 28-year-old running backs who are still pretty good, but probably like a Melvin Gordon type.
I was just going to say Melvin Gordon. I feel like you could always just throw in Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, guys like that.
Those are the two names I thought of. Yeah.
Let's see. Trying to think of some other ones.
Well, who would you go? Melvin Gordon or Michael Carter?
I'd probably rather have Michael Carter.
Me too, because Javonte Williams is there.
Well, yeah. I don't know where Melvin Gordon is going to be playing.
Yeah. What's
year.
funny?
He very well could end up
because
there,
we were just talking about Myles Gaskin. I would love if Melvin Gordon got traded to Miami, because I actually think that'd be a good place for Melvin Gordon.
I agree.
And then Javonte Williams would have that backfield to himself.
That would be nice. I would appreciate that.
But they don't let me just handpick and move around players in the NFL, unfortunately.
It would have been nice if they did. How about let's go with Zach Moss.
Ooh, that's a great
guy
one.
that's going to be probably starting for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. So Zach Moss is a guy who I actually think is very undervalued. I like Zach Moss, but I think in our PPR leagues, I would rather have the guy who's more of a defined pass catcher than the other way around, where obviously Zach Moss is more of, your early down, goal line back work type of guy, just because, those receptions are worth a lot more than a carry.
Yeah.
So I'll go Michael Carter, but very close, because I do think Zach Moss is very undervalued and could have a really big breakout year. But, yeah.
I think I might go Zach Moss here. I just think that he's going to be utilized more in the passing game than we'd probably think. And I just think if he's able to stay healthy, he'll put together a nice little season. And I guess since I, for whatever reason, picked 2 running backs in division, might as well just go with a third, Damian Harris.
Ooh, yeah. I'll go Michael Carter.
That one's a little easier.
Yeah.
Damian Harris, his time is fantasy relevant, I feel, was very short-lived.
Yeah.
I was really excited for it.
I will say
he was great for a few weeks, but
I kind of think he's a deep sleeper this year.
Yeah.
Last year he had all the hype, and not all the hype, but some hype, and it didn't pan out. I feel like this year people have already kind of written him off, and maybe he fires.
He could. I've said a million times how much I hate the Patriots when it comes to fantasy football, running backs especially.
You don't like Brandon Bolden and Rex Burkhead stealing goal line touchdowns?
I don't. No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Sony Michel getting 25 carries one week and then 3 the next. I would stay away at all costs, but I do like Damian Harris.
Yeah.
But I would also probably take Michael Carter.
Sure.
I can't trust the Patriots.
Yeah.
They've done me wrong too many times.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah,
That's about all I got from Michael Carter.
Pretty good one. Yeah. So Michael Carter, there he is.
Yeah.
Solid player. I think we're pretty excited for him.
Sure. Little fun fact. Some of you know it. Some of you probably don't. The New York Jets drafted Michael Carter in the 4th round, and then later in the draft, they drafted another Michael Carter, defensive back out of Duke. So,
yeah,
so 2 Michael Carters, both rookies on the same team. Pretty wild.
Honestly, Jets had a nice little draft.
They did.
Zach Wilson, who many people are very high on.
Mm-hmm. Elijah Moore, who we're very high on.
Yeah, I heard that they had him
one with the ones
top 16 on their board or something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice job for the Jets there.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff. Maybe they're turning things around.
And I like Robert Saleh a lot, too. The Mr. Clean bald head. And Mike LaFleur calling plays.
Things are looking up for the Jets.
Yeah, they are.
This just went from us talking Michael Carter to all you Jets fans out there.
COVID's over and the Jets are flying back in the air, baby.
We're back in the air, baby. All right, as always, mastersfantasyfootballleagues.com. Like, subscribe, leave comments on this video, and, of course, sign up for a league. The Great Orphaning is coming. Be ready for that. Plenty of orphan teams out there for you to scoop up and, be a part of the Masters family with us and get going with your own Dynasty team. So, anything else you want to add, Al?
That's all I got. Thanks for listening, guys.
All right, we'll see you next time, folks.
Boom.